So thank you for the people that are here and to the people watching us on Facebook Live. But I do want to start off and say thank you to our partners because it's not possible putting a budget of this magnitude together without working together. To Sue Rizzo, our county controller, thank you. And to the legislature, Chairman Andrew Joyce and Dennis Feeney, and to Frank Marinello and their team working with us, and to all the other elected officials and Sheriff Apple, thank you. It really takes a lot of work to put a budget of this magnitude together, and when you have a $756 million budget, it's a lot of moving mechanisms. But I'm proud to deliver this executive budget and stay under the state mandated cap for the ninth straight year in a row. It's the fourth year in a row the average property owner will see a slight decrease. The average homeowner of a $200,000 house will see about a $6 decrease, which is all good news. So I want to say that. We've been able to achieve this without any layoffs or cuts in programs. Really thinking outside the box as we continue to go forward. This budget may be one of the toughest ones we looked at over the years, because if you go back last year, we had to fill $28 million, which makes it challenging. And we had to right the financial ship, which I've been saying since 2012. And I kind of want to just, it's a story. I've been here 10 years, and when I first took over, we were borrowing TAM money to make payroll. We can't even have enough money to make payroll. We had about $19 or $21 million in our reserves, and we owed the state controller $38 million for retirement. Not the situation you want to be in, and I had union contracts that were outdated 4 to 5 years. We fixed all that, working together. And I do want to say thank you to the men and women of the unions. There's 19 of them in Albany County. And I want to personally say thank you for working with us over the years and making things happen. Because without you, the men and women of this workforce of Albany County, we wouldn't be in the situation we are today. So thank you while we move forward. But as we continue to go forward, and like I said, it's a balanced budget of $753 million. It's roughly $30 million more than last year. It's up like 4.75% from last year. We were down to 719, and we were at 719. Again, we put a lot of mechanisms in place to make that happen, and I'll get into that in a minute. But one of the things I want to talk about, the sales tax revenue. In 2022, we're projecting our sales tax may be at $295 million, up from 2021 at $272 million. So it's roughly a $22 million increase. But again, there's so much stimulus package money out there. There's so many bailouts. People got more money than they've had before. So spending was up. But is this something that's going to sustain going into the future? And if you look at our sales tax revenue based from 2018, 2019, and you go on, it would be right on par with growth. But we skipped that hiccup we had last year when we lost $28 million. So again, is this something to stabilize? So I will say to my colleagues in towns, cities, and villages, please be smart. Don't think this may not sustain into next year. It may not sustain into 23. And that's one of the things I've always talked about. 23, 24, back 19 months ago, and I can't believe it's been 19 months since COVID-19, is that I'm more worried about the economy and our health crisis that we're going through, obviously, and the amount of people we've been losing every day. I'm worried about our financial crisis we could go into 23 and 24, because when you pump so much money out to the economy, at one point either people got to go back to work, businesses have to grow. Our unemployment this year versus 2 years ago, it's still not where it should be. We're like 4.7%. I want to say 2 years ago it was like 3 or 2. So these are things we have to continue to work on, and we need to work on. Some of the things we put into effect that worked. I remember having conversations with my delegation from the Senate and Assembly, but we put plans into place that have really worked for us going forward. And one of which was the employee separation, which we offered it to all the employees in the county to separate. And we would pay them $15,000 if they left and they can't come back to work for the county. And we had over 124 people put in for it. And then we had the commissioners look at it. And we had 72 employees that took the separation. It saved us $5 million last year. This year it's going to save us $4 million going forward. We also put a committee in place that looked at the hiring of last year. So of not just my offices, but every elected official. And I want to say thank you to Sue and Sheriff Apple and Bruce Hitley and them that participated, and David Soares. We saved over $40 million last year by doing this committee. So when you look at ways that we were trying to achieve our fiscal stability going into the future, that was one of them. And by stabilizing that hiring and really just going forward has helped us to make this happen. But one of the most important things we did was a comprehensive workforce development plan that heads to improve employee retention, personal equity, career progress, while also delivering important services to all of our constituents in a more effective manner. So when we looked at our comprehensive work plan, and I'll show you my deputy Dan Lynch and our budget director and Jan Clement, our HR, and Mike Lally, who's in civil service, and all the commissioners. In the middle of the health crisis is not the best timing, but it had to be done. I take pride in this budget. One of the news stations asked me how I felt about this budget, or I think it was you back there, asked me about how I felt about the budget. And I take a lot of pride because for 10 years I always said we have to change the face of government. We have to work more efficient, do a better job, and continue to deliver the great services we deliver, but by improving on them. And by also reimagine what the workforce was going to look like. So there's a lot of moving mechanisms in this. We rolled up our sleeves with the other elected officials. They told us what they needed in their respective areas, and with all of our commissioners. So it's going to be a big not restacking, changing titles, changing positions, adding more responsibility, which is good. But what we also have done is, and I looked at in the middle of this health crisis, is what can we do for the employees? And one of which was when you looked at our vision plan, we didn't pay for glasses, which is very expensive, right? So when you look at going to it's great you get your eyes checked, right? But when you got to buy glasses, you can't afford it. We didn't offer hearing aids with our health plan to employees that needed hearing aids, and that's like $2,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 to get hearing aids. So there's basic things we looked in our health plan. I said, this is a health crisis. Let's take care of the employees, and let's take care of their partners back home, their families, their wives, their husbands, their partners, their children, because they came to work every day when everyone else stayed home to do the right thing, didn't come to work. These essential workers came to the county every day. And we owe it to them because they put their life on jeopardy. And I was saying, we didn't know in the beginning when we started down this road 19 months ago, we didn't know what we were dealing with. 1 minute, you could get it off the surface. You didn't have to wear a mask, then you had to wear a mask. And I could go on. Everything changed, but that worker still came every day. Came to work to make sure people got the services they needed to continue to move forward. So by making this about health equity, and making sure our employees get these benefits. 2% raises to all the non-union workers is already in the budget for next year. So I take pride in this. Also stabilizing our finances. Out of the $28 million that we've received, or 29, 27.5 is going to be used for paying off our reserves in areas where we spent money. But also what we did for the workers is longevity. So how do you retain employees? And the hardest thing is, it's nice to be in a county that's the capital of New York State, but with the capital behind me, they still are employees all the time. They're always constantly taking them for more money, and I feel like Bill Belichick. I'm always rebuilding for the next Super Bowl. I'm always rebuilding the employees, and it's challenging. So we changed the longevity to keep employees here longer as they stay here, and we don't lose that institutional knowledge. We don't lose that worker to go to this state. So you will see a bigger change in that. This isn't like a one-shot thank you employees and moving on. This is about stabilizing them with their health plan and keeping them here and letting them know we want them to grow. We want them to prosper, and this is about equality of our employees, making sure that we take care of them, because let me assure you, who's ever watching this or listening to this, they took care of you through this health crisis, and we're going to make sure we continue to do that. So you will see a jump in that. With the partnership with the Albany County Legislature, I want to thank Dennis Feeney, Andrew Joyce, Frank, because we did work with them on a lot of the stuff, and it's important to make sure we take care of the people that took care of us. Our commitment to our workforce is this. Thank you for what you did. We believe in you, and we will continue to work with you and improve everything with the workers going forward. Partnerships are critical to moving initiatives and successfully going forward. And working with the legislature to support our priorities with economic development, starting the Albany County Advanced Albany County Alliance for operations and expenses. We added $250,000 to that. Also, the Albany County Land Bank, we added another $250,000. And on top of that, we have committed $3.5 million to this land bank. It is the most successful land bank in the state of New York and this nation because we got behind it. And I do want to thank the legislature and my office because we continue to support this, and we gave them over $19 million in assessed property value. That's the only way it's going to work. And, you know, with the our Advanced Albany County Alliance investment, how do you compete against Metroplex? How do you compete against other people that are doing it? And when companies come to Albany County, one thing I've always said, even when I was in the ledge, you got 8 IDAs. You have every municipality doing their own thing, but to have a one-stop shop to help companies that want to advance their companies here instead of losing the company we lost in Colony to Clifton Park, that we work with them, that we identify what they need or what they're looking for, more space, that we attract companies here. And why come here? You come here for the school districts. It's a great place to raise your family. It's a great place to live. I think it's the best county in the state of New York. No offense to the other 61, but it is. And we have a lot of great things going for us. So this Albany County or Advanced Albany County Alliance will really be that partner in working with the other municipalities, not trying to supersede what they have in place, but working with them where we can make it more seamless and smooth when people come in to do business and they're not fighting everyone involved. And I take good pride in that, working forward to go back. But this budget contains the fourth year increases of statewide implementation of the Harrell Herring legal defense reform, which I championed in my office. We wrote the bill in my office. I want to thank Assemblyman Pat Fahey and getting this passed. It's been a game changer. This budget also includes 2% raises for non-union workers, which I already said. I want to remind everyone each year that back of my budget shows what has happened to us, And it is the most interesting thing, and I did take this idea from Kathy Gemino when she was Rensselaer County Executive, is that you look at it and you got local spending going down, unfunded mandates going up, and this is what continues with happens with us, is how do you control this going forward when we can only control a small portion of our budget? So I just want to remind you out there that a lot of things we just are out of our control. I want to say that 80% of the total budget is mandated. The majority, which is unfunded, is 60% from the state and feds mandates. Another 20% of the budget's from local laws. And a big example of unfunded mandate would be community college. We pay Hudson Valley roughly $11 million a year for community college. When the state of New York has offered college kids to go to college for free, they never relieved us. And if you really look at the history of unfunded mandates, this bill was passed in the mid-'70s. And the state of New York was supposed to pay a third, the county was supposed to pay a third, the student was supposed to pay a third. Well, guess who hasn't paid since the mid-'70s who created this bill? The state legislature. We have continued to pay this, and Rensselaer County got capped. We did not, but I have a good partner with Ram Sammy over there. Look forward to continue working with them. These are issues that we bring up, but it's really working with the state to give us the fair mechanism of how we're paying this unfunded mandate all the time. So again, it's really working in a partnership to get things done. I do want to say this. I take so much pride in this workforce, and I love to sit here and tell you it's all me. Yes, it's all me. I do it all. It's not. It's about all the department heads, all the services we provide, my staff. Nothing is possible without working together and putting the egos to the side. I say this all the time, but it's about achieving things. It doesn't matter if I'm fighting with the controller, which at times we do, but it's that partnership of what we're doing to effectively help the taxpayers in delivery of services in our workforce. So I do want to say thank you, and I want to remind everyone this is another year, no tax increase, no layoffs, no cuts in programs or services, and hopefully no more COVID-19 in 2022, and we continue to move and open up. But again, it can't happen. It can't happen without partnerships, and I personally just want to say this to the workers. Thank you. Thank you to the sacrifice you made with your families and your partners. Thank you for coming in every day and doing the right thing. And wait to how we reimagine the workforce going forward and the changes we'll continue to implement. Any questions?